What's up, guys? I hope you're doing well. A few days ago, my friend 23 Husky was making samples and asking people if they could flip them. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I flipped his grunge sample to an opium kind of beat. You can follow along with the same steps with actual samples, or you can make your own samples just like he did. But either way, this is going to be the full step-by-step process on how you should usually flip a sample. So first off here, we got the sample. It's at 120 C sharp minor. And as you can see, I sped it up eventually to 158. But this is what it sounds like just raw. So as you can see, there's a lot going on. Can't really tell what he's saying, but that's okay for this instance because I ended up using the vocals just sort of like as those Clams Casino type of chops. But first off, before you can make a full beat like this, you gotta separate the stems. And the way I usually do it is I use Ultimate Vocal Remover 5. I'm not sure if there's a Vocal Remover 6 or anything like that out, but you can look up Ultimate Vocal Remover 5 and there should be a free download. And what it does is it takes any of these extraction methods and you can choose to have a vocal extraction method, just instrumental, you can do drums or no drums, and so on and so forth. So for this, I split it into two categories. We have this sample, which is the main sample with no drums. And then we have the second version, which is just the vocals. And then what I did was I took this, put it on stretch to take it from 120 up to 158. And then I put it on resample mode, which in turn raised the pitch. So we went from C sharp minor all the way to G minor because of how fast we were going. And then after that, I started with the effects. So just like the drum and bass, the breakcore stuff, I started with the convolution reverb for 3D Convolver, and I did the blur white setting. And that gives it its trademark sort of washed out reverby sound. Next, I took this EQ'd out a lot of the lows and some of the highs because it was a little too much. Added this portal preset, fruity delay with the ping pong, and a little bit of texture. Standard sort of stuff that I do. And, I give you this. So this next part I actually ended up doing last, but next in the playlist is the vocal. We did some weird stuff with sausage fattener and an EQ down here just because I was messing with the volume of the vocals. And then I added Looperator. This is the Clams Casino preset, and I believe this glitch pack here. And what I did was I clicked this die a bunch of times, and it gave me a bunch of these options here, which chop it up a lot, and I removed them to its settlement. So the vocal went from this, a little rough, to choppy. And then I added chorus and fruity convolver about halfway. Fruity chorus, either this is the default chorus preset or I clicked randomize until I got to here. And then fruity convolver, I believe this is again the blur white preset. And then I added crystalline, which is another reverb, and real quick, I'll show you the differences. This is the fruity convolver. This is the crystalline. And this is them together. So you can see that Fruity Convolver and Crystalline are working together, with the Fruity Convolver sort of giving it that long, washed out feel, while Crystalline is helping give it that depth that it needs. And then finally, I used Wider to separate it out a little bit, giving it that final sound. Next up, we have, I believe this is a Reese bass. And I took this preset that I had made from another Reese bass. I copied some remake tutorials, and so I took this Blade Reese bass, which has nothing on it, and then I added distortion, compression, EQ, so it just takes it one step higher. And as you can see, it's left alone in the mixer. Next up, we have this lead. What I did for this was I took the Me and My Cup lead remake that I tried doing, and I put a whole bunch of effects on it. So first we got sausage fattener and a high cut, and then I took the same reverb preset that was on the vocals over here, and then I added shaper box. So I used the stepper preset, put it up halfway, 51%. Again, I randomized the fruity chorus, and I added looperator. And what I did for this was, I think I just spammed this die up top, which is the quote unquote smart option, and do a bunch of random stuff. And it eventually gave me a similar sort of setup to this. So what I did was I took this blue FX line and made it alternate between the U, 4, and 2. This green line, which is a bunch of like delay and distortion sort of stuff. And here's the tape stop. And I turned it down a lot, just so it wasn't too much. And then just a couple extra chops. And that's what helps give it that sort of choppy feel. And then finally, wider, not all the way out, but farther, about as far as you should go. And finally, we have this art. This has a little bit of a different sound. So we have 3D Convolver, I believe, on the Blur White again. But it's turned down just a little bit so we can actually hear the individual notes. Then we have this Portal preset. It's in the new, oh no, it's not. It's in this NYX Portal preset bank. It's the Toys preset. And that's turned down a little bit. You could see I turned it down a little more because there's a lot of delays. Then we got another random or default 3D chorus preset. And then finally, Destructor for the bit crusher. It's turned down a lot, 16%. It's just enough. And then used wider, pushed it out the same sort of amount as the vocals over here, just to help get the song depth. And I used a Pluck remake from Shanghai by Hard Rock. So all together, the melodies sound like this. So yeah, now moving on to the drums. They're pretty standard sort of opium feel. We got the no lie snare over here. Nothing special. Then we got the hi-hats. Other than these little rolls over here, it's something that you should do is have Liberator presets going. You can click this pink reddish sort of row and either click this randomized button until you see a pattern you like and then tweak it, or you can click on each individual block and choose from there. It just helps give it some more motion. Next, we got the 808. And for this, what I did was I put a mixer preset on here that I usually do use to make the 808s louder, which involves just Destructor. So normally I'd have this speaker thing enabled and it would be model CD, and I think I saved it like this, but the out is usually at like 50% with the mix and the in. And then there's this fast distortion setting. Shout out to Nam Saying, he's the one who helped show me this trick, and if you ever have a hard time getting your 808s louder without trying to, make them clip, I definitely recommend that you try this. Next, we have the counter snares. Very simple. Brought down the mix just a little bit. Here we got the first open hat. Then the second open hat. And both of those are as well pretty low in the mix. And then this is what all the drums sound like altogether. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I have my tags over here.
Nick.
And over here.
Shout out to Negligent. He's a legend.
Usually when I have my tags, turn them down. I usually turn this indigo tag down further than this movie clip one, just because it's louder in general. You can see it's peaking. If you ever think it's too low, you can either click this to normalize it, drag this up, but you don't want your tag just blasting out unless you want to be like a purchase your tracks today sort of guy. So yeah, thank you guys for watching to the end. I really appreciate it. If you have any other ideas or recommendations for tutorials, please comment that down below. I like being able to read the recommendations and help you guys out. And thank you again to 23 Husky for including me in these sample flips. He's taught me a lot over the past year and a half about beat making production, and on top of that, he's just been a really great friend, and I appreciate you a lot. So if you ever need beats or ever want to make music with someone, definitely go follow him on Instagram or go to his YouTube page. He's got literally thousands of beats for people to use, and he's been doing a lot with these Brazilian artists, so go check them out too. They're pretty good. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.